Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Oh my God, it's my first official full English episode.
Congratulations.
To all of our subscribers and followers of Eritrean Media Network, Dakina Talk Show, all of our shows. Like I said, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever in the world you're watching this from. Today we have an author with us. This is my second author that I have the pleasure of hosting on my show. He is currently in Asmara, about to have his book launch in a couple of days. Like I said this morning, today's press day, so you've had a busy day. Thank you for fitting me and my team and our channel in. It means a lot.
Well, thank you for having me. It means a lot. Your support in Asmara has been extremely unexpected and pleasant, and I'm very grateful.
Thank you. How is Asmara treating you?
Asmara is very fast. I came here about 3 weeks ago. I didn't think I was going to be able to pull it off, but I did. And, just everything seems to be working. A lot of cooperation from people like you.
Thank you.
And I think everything has worked out. The fact that I was able to have the book printed here, the fact that I was able to invite as many people as I have, and secure a location and those kinds of things has been really fast and furious, but I think it's done.
It's done, yeah. Well, I'm sure it's going to be a successful event. I'm sure by the time we air this episode, the book launch will be uploaded before this. But obviously, as all these shows and interviews do go, let's do a different background check, reality check on who is Amani El Mariam.
Oh, Amani El Mariam is a product of this environment. I grew up here. I was born here. I love Asmara. I wanted to play soccer growing up because my brother, my family was all into soccer at a very high level. And I wanted to be better than them. And I also played basketball, so I was very athletic. And I never had any intentions to leave the country, but in 1978, things got a little bit rough. And I ended up, traveling abroad, and just as a refugee everywhere, Middle East, Italy, eventually in the United States. And in the United States, I went through school, through life, and, as part of the Eritrean community. Everything that we do is centered around our community and our country and our people. Even though we live abroad, our heart and minds are always here. And so, the struggle is really, really a heavy responsibility on every Eritrean, and we have families and all that kind of thing. So that is basically who I am. I studied in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I live in Washington, D.C. area now, married with my wife, and I love my community in D.C. I'm very engaged. I've been writing a lot of articles regarding Eritrea, and I've written 2 books out of that. And so that is basically, and I'm in the hospitality industry, in the tourism industry. I've been on it for a long time.
How did you end up in the hospitality industry?
I just like it. I really like it. I enjoy it. The more you know about it, the more you understand how it is connected to the life and the history of a nation. And you go to Italy, you see the tourism there. When I saw Italy, all the tourism there, I was really intrigued. And when I went to Michigan, I started studying hotel restaurant management. And I didn't continue because I didn't think that it was broad enough. So I ended up taking more business inclined. But all the work that I've done has been included in tours, working with destination organizations, with tourism companies, and hotel, restaurants, and those kinds of things. And it's a lot of fun. And I definitely would like to bring that into Eritrea.
Yeah, that's where I was about to kind of divert the question to. Down the lane, do you see yourself, let's say, retiring in Asmara, or being able to set up something here and running that kind of an institute, or at least training people a bit more?
The tourism industry is very sophisticated, and it's changing now.
Yeah.
The tourism opportunities for Eritrea are immense.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the foundation, we need to be able to establish the foundation. We need to be able to educate our people. We need to be able to create tourism destination organizations in every Zoba in Eritrea, centralize it, of course, through the tourism ministry. But we need to be able to make it available everywhere, and that so that they are aware on how tourism is working,
Yeah.
and whether it's in Massawa, whether it's in Asmara, or whether it's in
Saganati.
Saganati, Kwahaito,
Yeah.
all these different places, all these different areas, they need destination organizations because they need to be prepared to embrace tourists. Because when tourists come, they don't care. They will go anywhere. A lot of people think that, they need hotels and those kinds of things. Provide the opportunity for them for adventures, and they'll be able to do that. And that, we have tremendous opportunity to include all kinds of tourism, and I definitely want to be a part of it.
Good. Well, we're on board. As long as I can travel all over, I love it. I love it, and I've been in customer service for a while, so I enjoy it. When did you discover your passion for writing?
Um,
How far back does it date?
well, I think I've tried to write journals here and there, but in 2000, when there was an attack on Eritrea,
Right.
from a lot of different directions,
Wow.
there were only a few people writing, and I really wanted to support them. I wanted to support them, so I started, writing things, and the internet was just getting on board. And the more you write, the more notoriety you get. And I think it became a passion to defend Eritrea, to promote Eritrea, to correct narratives and those kinds of things. And over a period of time, what I ended up doing was chronicling the story of Eritrea, especially the story of the people in the diaspora, what they've been doing to challenge the false narratives and all the negative stuff that was being said about Eritrea, and use that to demonize Eritrea and punish Eritrea. And we were in the forefront fighting it. And as I told the stories, as I wrote the stories, over time it became the journal that I really wanted to write about. I'm going to still write about. I started writing about it. I put a lot of content in writing, and then I eventually decided to ask the question, why are we where we are today? And I traced it back to 1941, which is the end of World War II. And the United States and the British had a lot to do with it, the Federation and everything else. And the more I pressed, the more I researched, the more I found out that the United States was the key culprit on why we are where we are. So I decided to start writing a chapter, but it ended up being a book. And so I write the chapter on how the United States came to Eritrea, why, and the implications for the people of Eritrea, and for the United States strategic interests, but how we handled it and those kinds of things over a period of time until Donald Trump. And so that's the reason why I read that book, The History of the U.S. and Eritrea.
Okay.
So I was sidetracked to write this book, and I think every Eritrean should read it. Okay. And there's some high officials that read it. They could not believe the amount of content that's in there, the amount of information that's in there, and it's very, very enlightening, because the Eritrean story is vast. It's about geopolitical developments. It's about World War II history. It's about Black history. It's about colonial legacy. It's about people striving for all kinds of freedoms.
About identity.
It's about our identity. It's about a whole lot of things, and this book covers a lot of it. And so,
how Donald Trump changed the course of history.
Uh-huh.
How long of a process was it to write it? like time-wise?
You know, it's really, really interesting. When I'm committed, I go
All
nonstop.
in.
Yeah, I'm nonstop.
Yeah.
And this was like, first of all, it was during COVID.
COVID.
Yeah, so I had the time,
Time.
and I was just like, yes, I'm gonna write this, and so I did. And secondly, it came in fairly good amount of time. I would say probably 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not easy
It's not.
because you have to have it formatted, you have to have copy editing done, you have to do the cover, and that all it's a process in itself. So you have to have passion, and you make sure that you can finish. You don't want to start something like this and not do it and not complete it. So it's a lot of fun because you're uncovering a lot of information that nobody knows about, and trying to put a context to be able to tell a story, not to make it boring. So youth, the young readers can read it. It's not going to be, stale, political, this, that. Just tell a story behind it. Kanyo Station was a part of our life, and in Eritrea. What did it mean to us? How did that translate? So I have to explain that, and I lived through it. So it was really easy for me because I grew up with the music of Kanyo Station, with the aura of Kanyo Station, with the Americans being here, with the Italians being here, and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically what it is.
Had COVID not been around, it would have taken you longer than 6 months to write it, though.
I think I was determined to write the first one, but I think COVID was kind of like a blessing.
Blessing in disguise.
Yeah, blessing in disguise. It made me focus, but it also helped me to really focus on the history of Eritrea. So when I decided to do the history of Eritrea, a lot of the material, the research that I've done, is connected to the history that I uncovered during this. So I wanted to tell the story. The hardest part is to tell the prehistoric periods, all the history of Eritrea, because it becomes controversial and you really have to spend a lot of time. So I just kind of glossed through it, and the Italian colony, the British administration, and then it just go on. I really want people to know their story, Eritreans to know their story. I want this translated in the Tigrinya and Arabic and Tigray and whatever language that we can translate it to, whether it's German, French, Italian, all this, to be translated in all these different languages. So it's available in universities, colleges, high schools, kindergarten, everywhere. So that's the aim, that's the goal.
What are your hobbies apart from writing?
I play music.
Oh. Yeah, I think we touched that topic last time.
I play keyboard. I love music. I love music. I love music. I've been exposed to music. I have done radio programs, introducing African music. I had a program called Africa Profile, so I played a lot of African musicians. I have listened to. I am genreless. I love music, but I love Gwaila.
Yeah.
Gwaila is my favorite. If you live in DC, you see me dancing all the time, because my community knows that too.
How is life as an Eritrean second citizen? How's life as an Eritrean in the States now? In your words, obviously.
Eritreans live a very special life, in my view. The reason is we have a purpose, we have a mission, and that's Eritrea. We live that life, no matter whether you're one side of a political orientation or the other. Eritrea is central to our lives, and so everything that they do is centered around Eritrea. The only thing is, we have not been able to organize as communities in the manner that I like, and monetize that, take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there. And that really takes concentration, communication, organization, and just focus to be able to ensure that the community takes advantage of the economic advantages, the social advantages, the service advantages that we can provide for each other, the banking, the media, a lot of the opportunities we're not utilizing the way we should. Yeah, we are a very organized society. We are extremely organized. You can see it at the festivals. It requires a lot of willingness and attention to make those big events happen everywhere around the world. And it's uniform. It's everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
And it didn't just happen. It started during the struggle for independence. It's that foundation that we need to really establish. They've done their work.
Yeah.
Our forefathers, our fathers, all those people that sacrificed, paid their due to ensure that we have these platforms, and we need to elevate it to the next level. And I don't think we're doing it at the level that we should, or we're doing it at all. At least I don't see it. Yeah. And that's the reason why I want to speak about it.
Okay. What would you say is now the mindset of this new generation of Eritreans that have been brought in born in the States and are growing up there? What is their mindsets about Eritrea in general?
You're talking about those who grew up there, who were born there?
They're born there.
Okay.
Like, how is their energy, for example?
This is very, very interesting. The first generation Eritreans, these are the people that came in the 80s, the late 70s and 80s. They raise their kids as the Eritreans. Yeah. Everything that they're exposed to is Eritrean. Yeah. And they're part of the struggle. And during these sanctions, and those kids rose up. Yeah. They're educated now. They're growing with the kids and things like that. Yeah. Where we failed is to establish that the community setup that we need to do. So, and now they are part of this society. How connected are they today to the elders? I mean, they are when they need to be, but we are not cohesively working together to improve our presences everywhere. And so, we're doing well, but we need to do it in a very, very organized fashion as communities everywhere, and to be able to serve the kids with daycare, with education, and those kinds of things. There are elements of it, and also serve the elderly, with their needs to be able to gather things, help the community with educational programs, all those kinds of things. Financial development, community outreach programs to connect with your environment, with the environment, all those kinds of things. Lobbying activity, public diplomacy, and those kinds of things are very, very important. We are doing it, but I don't think we're doing it at the level that we should. Okay. And but the generation that came after independence, especially after 2000, they tended to, at least for a while, to separate themselves. Okay. Judge, they for a period of time, they were not engaging as much as they should, or at all. But now, as they have their children, and they have families here in Eritrea, they are all coming back, returning with their families. They understand, especially when the West is changing, and the way they educate their children with all the gay issues, all the negative stuff that they're not accustomed to happens in terms of the transgender issues and those kinds of things. So, they are coming back. They are returning to their communities, mainly because the educational system is educating their students, their kids, values that they are not accustomed to. And so now you have a lot of Eritreans actually bring their kids, get them educated here, leave them here, and live abroad, make ends meet. And so now the importance of Eritrea, the significance of Eritrea is, relevant for everybody. And we are on the same page. We just, like I was saying earlier, we just need to make sure that it works for us. We take advantage of all the opportunities out there and make sure that it works for everybody in the diaspora. So we are coming together.
It's a process.
It's a process.
It is a process. Most of the questions, like there's some groups on Facebook that a friend of mine made me join. It's about moms, willing to come back. So sometimes it just takes somebody to be on this end and give an extra bit of advice, So it's the basic questions that everybody asks you, like, what about schooling? What about medication? I'm like, it's all here. You guys can come and experience it. The most advantage, like yesterday, there was a seminar at the Women's Association, and we were talking about that with Dr. Tsakai, actually. And he was emphasizing on the fact that Eritreans abroad, the embassies and the society plays a big role in ensuring that the new kids, the kids of this generation that are being born now, are being taught their mother tongue. They create their communities, their schools happening, and he says this really helps us in maintaining our identity, in maintaining a certain kind of structure to continue that. No matter where you're living, you don't lose your sense of identity as well. He was talking about it yesterday, and he was also pushing and insinuating on not pushing, but insinuating like it's there. We just need to push it a bit further. It just needs to be pushed a bit further. And I don't know how to handle it sometimes. Sometimes I want to get into social media and tell everybody, y'all need to move back home. Because I've had a couple of friends approach me about the same thing, about the values. Like, my kid is going to school and I don't like what he's learning. I don't like the things that he's being taught. So how can I, make it a smooth transition for him and for me to back home? But that is a whole entire different topic that we're getting into now.
Not really. I mean, just
I think everybody has different opinions about it as well.
But for me, it's a trend.
Yeah.
It's trending in that direction.
Yeah.
Everybody, when people will start asking questions about whether they want to move back to their country, they're looking at it as an alternative. It's a positive thing.
Yeah.
And we just need to understand what the opportunities are, not only from a motherly standpoint, as school is here, but holistically, what the opportunities are going to come up. And we have not really talked about those things. And we have, for example, in the hospitality industry, we have Egypt, Saudi Arabia right next door to us. And we are here. We have tremendous amount of opportunities that we can really combine. Even if Ethiopia, if it ever gets to stand, So we can do a lot with that. So I think the trend is the right trend.
Well, we're just gonna keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. Eritrea, the struggle is long and victory is certain. How'd you come up with the title?
The original title that I thought for it was Eritrea, Vindicated and Triumphant.
Okay, Vindicated and Triumphant. Okay.
And then I sent the book for editing for historians and everybody to review it in this country. Mm-hmm. And they said that it's premature to say prevailed and triumphant because we are a young nation. And you can say something about justice, how we fought for justice and things like that. And so I decided to see how long did we fight for that. So the struggle is long, victory is certain. That's how it came up. And I'm glad it came up that way because it explains the journey of the Eritrean people. No matter what the oppression or the colonial infrastructure was there at that time, the struggle for independence during the Italian colonial period, during the British military administration, during the Federation, all these histories are not told at the level that they should be told. And I want to present that journey and bring it all the way down to the current state of affairs. And that's the reason why we struggle long, but the victory is certain. Yeah. And I think we are going to turn heads. We are really going to turn heads. People are going to be inspired by Eritrea. People are going to be learning from Eritrea, and Eritreans are going to really take advantage of it for a long time. It doesn't seem like that right now, because we just had to overcome so many hurdles. But we are right in the tip of it. So I am very optimistic, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. I know you've probably handed the book to some people in Asmara to have a read. What's the feedback been like so far?
Yesterday, one official, the government official at a high level, dealing with foreign ministry, that kind of stuff, and I mean, this is their work. A lot of the geopolitical developments and how it's explained and what they've done, I expressed that, and they are impressed. They're and I have had people that read it in the United States, and they wrote. The minister has told me, Minister Yamani Garmaskal told me that people wrote to him that this should be included in the school curriculum, and the Ministry of Education, Zorobakar, wants to put this in their libraries.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And so they see the importance of it, and I was able to do it in 3 weeks.
I know. I think this one is Guinness World Book of Records.
So
3 weeks and launching a book.
3, yeah, and doing all that kind of stuff.
You came dedicated with it in the sense that you came with that mission, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to accomplish. So
and I gave that time frame intentionally.
There you go.
Because I don't want to slack off, I don't want to do anything, and just hit it on really hard.
How are you feeling about the book launch, personally?
I am excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited, and the reason I'm excited is I'm going to be able to tell Eritreans here what we went through as Eritreans in the diaspora. I want to share that with the diplomats, especially Western diplomats that put us through those kinds of things, and to be able to share our stories and how we were able to challenge their narratives, their approach and everything else, to be able to just face them. I also want to share our stories with the friends like the Chinese and Russians who are really intent on having a partnership with Eritrea to understand a little bit of Eritrea and make sure that they are, sharing this information with their schools and everybody else. So this is a really much bigger mission that I thought about very deeply, and that's the reason why I am here introducing the book in Asmara. So, and it's been really rewarding, mainly because I've had access over the years. I've had really good connections with everybody around here, and I knew where to go and how to do things. And fortunately, everything worked out. And I'm at the point where I'm going to have a book launch in Asmara Palace, and it's just very historic. So it's an incredible Eritrean establishment, and to be able to do that, I think is going to be interesting.
The first book, you didn't do the launch here. It was
COVID. It was just like it was online. Everything was
Even when you published it was still COVID.
Yeah, it was still COVID. So I didn't really have any opportunity to tour. So now I'm excited to tour for both of them. I'm going to go to the United States, and after that, England, Germany, Sweden, and just come back here, do a lot of presentation with organizations like NOE and things like that, because it's going to give me a broader understanding about the Eritrean communities everywhere. So that's my intention.
Okay. In writing this book, I wouldn't say how hard it was, or I wouldn't ask you how hard was it, but getting facts, ensuring that you were doing the right part on behalf of the country, or, representing Eritrea to as much power as you had. Was it hard in collecting information?
The information is out there. The liberation of Massawa is a fact.
Yeah.
And the dates, what it went through. You also know the alphabet and all these different developments. I was a part of it. Giving it a context is what's important.
Yeah.
And in order to give it a context, you have to be able to compare it to other events like that. Independence struggle, organizations all over the world, how do they fare against what we did? What's unique about the struggle for independence of Eritrea? The fact that, it was grounded on the public. That's just really incredible. The second portion of it is, like for instance, the President Isaias. Nobody's ever compared him with any leader of the world. And to be able to do that, you read strategic books, war books, and those kinds of things to get context, to be able to explain those kinds of things. That is the hardest part, not having the facts, but really making sure that people have a level of understanding that resonates, that educates them how important this is. So in order to lift the level of understanding, what you do is, you look at Napoleon Bonaparte, as his history, what did he do? And, the fights, and, he went to Russia, he ended up getting defeated and came back. He took 500,000 soldiers and came back. Compare that to the Soviet Union and the United States coming here, working with hundreds of thousands of Ethiopian soldiers and, just defeating them over and over and over and over again. And when you cannot defeat them, or when you feel like the back is against the wall, you do a strategic retreat. And that strategic retreat has to be compared to other strategic retreats in other part of the world. So that context is what this book provides. And also a lot of what's happening and what Eritrea was able to do in the region, and to elevate our position to what it is today in terms of the geopolitical upper hand that we have, is something that required a lot of different studying. So it is not getting the facts, it's getting the right context.
And amazing job there. I don't know if you have any input in it, or does something...
I wanted it exactly the way it is.
Well,
it's almost the same thing as this one right here.
Yeah, but this one...
Those issues.
It's us, but like to be honest, when I saw this, I was like, and when I found out you were coming, I was like, how do I get a hold of him? And it was fate. Like, it was really fate that I met you, because the cover just speaks volumes.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's I like really my hat off to you. But this is just I was like, yes. And then I saw it, kept on going around on Facebook, and then on X as well. I was like, because there are two books I was looking to get from abroad. One is yours, and one was Alam Sagata.
So now you got two of them.
I got two of them. So I was like, how? And then I saw you posted, like, I'm going to, I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. He's coming. I didn't actually know you were coming for a book launch. I thought you were just coming to probably, just give it around and to get the feedback from people. So having the book launch here, it's I think it's something that will be embedded for you for a while.
I think it was very strategic on my part. I didn't want to do it in DC. I didn't want to do it anywhere. I love my DC community. Yeah, I really love my DC community, and they love me.
DC is amazing.
DC is amazing, but I wanted to establish the right tone and to start telling the story the way that I wanted to, and I wanted to emanate from here and go everywhere. So I'm coming, DC.
Soon I'll be there. He doesn't hate you.
I don't hate you. I love you so much.
No, I saw the post even yesterday when you shared your article. Like, I don't know if you saw your comment.
I did.
It was really a beautiful comment. Everybody congratulating you. So thank you for also letting us be a part of it. What was your favorite part of this book? One part that stands out for you. I'm sure the whole book is you love it, but one part that you feel just is like, that part got me.
I think maybe about 3 or 4 of them, but I think the story about President Isaias is revealing to me. Mm-hmm. I did a story about my brother-in-law.
Okay.
He was a banker in Asmara. He was also a professional soccer player. Okay. And he was married to my sister. And at the time they were married, I was here in Asmara. And he was active, just supporting the Fadains here, the agents that were here. One of them, Desalegn, Kuflum's father. Desalegn,
From Dasu?
Kuflum Desu is his son. Desalegn Haptamariam, I think, is a friend of Siyum, my brother-in-law's friend. And eventually they ended up robbing the commercial bank of Ethiopia at that time, and ended up taking it to the front. And he didn't stay very long, and he got martyred. And I wanted to tell those stories, and I used him as an example. And when I told my sister and his family, they got emotional, and their emotion kind of touched me a little bit. And I knew that would be the case, but I wanted to make sure that he was honored in that way. So in that way it is personal. So that attachment means something to me. But telling the stories of Kanyo, not Kanyo Station, but the singers and what they did in the 70s was really, really amazing. The young generation, especially the artists, need to know about what we went through.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. Your final thoughts.
First, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yared, and of course, I've known Yared for a long time.
Yeah.
All the input of all the people. A lot of people supported this activity of mine, this project of mine. Simon Takhlasambit, Michael Records, Umascan Printing, just all the people in the ministries. I don't want to mention their names, but just all of them. Anybody that has any input, and for my family, I'm grateful for all my family for standing by me, especially my wife, Freta, my brother Koga, Mariam and his wife, Awa Yusuf. There's Ababide, my sister. Their support has been incredible, and I'm always very grateful to them.
Well,
and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. It's an honor for me to do these kinds.
It's an honor for me as well.
It really is. You're a very humble person. I remember the first day I was like, it looks like him. So you don't know how people will react when you approach them sometimes. I was like, they're not as bad as you. But thank you. I mean, we could have helped you out so much more, but we were caught up in another book launch as well, so the time kind of clashed. But whatever we can help you on the next few days until your book launch. Being a part of the book launch itself is it means a lot to me. It resonates a lot to me.
We've done all the preparation necessary, and the most important thing is I have to be focused and get my message out, right. and I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, well. Like I said, they will see the book launch before this episode. So also, if you've seen the book launch on our channel, then you'll see the interview. He's also done an interview on Eritrean Profile. There will be also an episode that should be airing soon with Open Mic on TV. But I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Until the rest of your stay. Come back. And the next time you're in town, I want you relaxed.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Just coffee at Asmara Palace and chit-chatting. But thank you for giving me time. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you for taking the time.
And we will see you soon.
See you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
At Asmara Palace.
Asmara Palace at 5 o'clock. And to everybody, it's available on Amazon.
Yes.
So anybody wants to purchase, you can find him on Facebook by the name of Amaniel Bilamaram. Books available on Amazon. So thank you for watching.
But buy it directly from me, not Amazon.
Oh, okay. Buy it directly from him. You heard it. So you can contact him on Facebook. And
no, it's the link is there. It's better to buy. Amazon is not.
Yeah.
Just buy it from the link that we provided. Okay. From whatever link I share. Okay. Use that.
And you also have his contact here.
Yes.
So directly contact تقدروا تدخلوا لهم مبزئة. تقدرين حاويسكي لكم بتخصصون اللي هم عجوزات دحين. Thank you for watching my first English episodes on Dakina Talk Show on Eritrean Media Network. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.